Hello, I am Brandy Davis. I am the HMIS trainer with Echo. This training video will outline ethics and expectations around ethics for all HMIS users. It is important to discuss ethics because we are being trusted with very confidential client information. We look at ethics through the lens of data and data management. With the client's permission, we will be collecting client information and putting that info into the HMIS database. The data we are collecting includes their personal identifying information, history of homelessness, disabilities, among others. If this information is mishandled, it would be catastrophic for the client and our community as a whole. We want to make sure we're respecting client confidentiality and privacy and maintaining client trust.
Part of ethics and values is recognizing that each client has dignity and worth, and it's important that we recognize client self-determination and that a client makes a choice in what they feel comfortable disclosing to us. Clients can refuse to answer any questions we ask them at any time and won't be denied services because of this, unless we need to know that information to determine eligibility for a specific program. Like if a client refuses to tell us their veteran status, we would not know they were eligible for veteran housing programs. The data we enter into HMIS is self-report, so we enter what the client tells us to be true, and we need to ensure we're practicing in a trustworthy manner, entering the data we know to be true at the time we're entering it, and correcting any data we find that is no longer true for the client. Confidentiality refers to the steps an organization takes to make sure no one sees or knows a client's personal information without the client's consent. So this is related to our HMIS release of information, and we have another training video that covers the ROI and what the document says in depth, but we do want to make sure that we go over this ROI with the client prior to entering client data into HMIS. We also want to make sure we don't talk about identifying client info like client's full name, social, date of birth, through insecure channels like email. Instead, we can identify a client with their service point number for the purpose of coordinating services and with the client's permission. It's important that we keep client data secure. Some of the security features are taken care of through IT and within our devices or through our HMIS vendor, WellSky. But some data security is done on an individual level. Everyone has a username and a unique password that expires every 45 days to log into HMIS. It's important that we don't save our username and password within the device and instead manually enter username and password, because if that login info is saved, it makes it really easy for someone to just sit down at your computer and log in. Also, when we leave our computer, it's important that we shut down our device. All of this is because we want to make sure that no one can access HMIS or see data, HMIS data, who is not authorized to, and we want to protect client information.
Privacy refers to the control over the extent, timing, and circumstances of sharing data. There are 6 components of HUD's privacy standards. Collection limitations: we only collect what is useful and appropriate from clients we work with, so only collecting information we need to for the work we're doing, like for coordinating services or what's required within our role. So if there is a program that specifically works with youth experiencing homelessness, they may have questions specific to providing for youth experiencing homelessness that other programs may not need to ask. Purpose and use limitations: when we are gathering information, working with clients, we want to make sure that we are respecting confidentiality, that we've gone through the ROI with the client and are respecting client's privacy security. We always want a client to have access to their information and the ability to change information that is no longer true. And we want to make sure we're entering quality data, entering what the client tells us to be true and entering that information in a timely manner. And for our COC, that expectation is that we enter client data within 5 business days of the client interaction. And we have another training video specifically around expectations for data quality. Security refers to the means of ensuring that data is kept safe from corruption. Many of these security features are covered by IT departments at your agency, and some security features are taken care of through WellSky and HMIS. This includes authentication, virus protection with auto updates, firewalls, encryption, location control, backup disaster recovery, and system monitoring. All of these are to ensure security. We also have what's called a PKI, or public key infrastructure. This was created for us by our vendor, WellSky. We install the PKI on your devices after you complete new user training, and only devices that have that PKI installed can access HMIS. And this is so not just any old device can access the site, only ones that have a PKI. You'll also need a license assigned to your profile to be able to access HMIS, and that license will also be assigned after you complete new user training. You will have a username and a unique password to log into HMIS. That password expires every 45 days, and you'll be prompted to create a new one when that happens. This is the privacy notice, and it should go up in all spaces where you'll be collecting data from clients. This is the language that the ROI uses, and HUD requires us to use this and have it posted in offices so clients know that it's a safe place where their privacy is taken seriously. And it again reminds clients that they can refuse to answer any questions at any time and won't be denied services because of that. This is the new user agreement. I'll need to have this signed and back from each of you. This is agreeing to follow the guidelines we have covered around ethics, privacy, and security, agreeing to go over the ROI with clients, and abiding by what the client consents to. This is also agreeing that we will only look up client records when necessary for job duties and coordinating services. Failure to uphold the confidentiality standards agreed to in this document is grounds for immediate termination from the HMIS system. Once you complete new user training and I get this new user agreement signed back from you all, we can install the PKI for you, assign a license, and then you will have access to HMIS. Finally, as always, if you have questions about what was covered in this video, you can reach out to our team through the help desk and we can answer those for you.